Alright, so it is a beautiful day here in mid-May, and I want to show you guys what I have growing. First of all, over here to the left, I have some new products that were given to me by a company called Garden, and they are self-watering tomato planters that come with a trellis. So I thought these would be perfect up here for my larger tomatoes, my heirloom. This right here is a Cherokee Purple, but I'll show you more about this towards the end of this video. I'll give you more detail on how I put it together and all of that. If you are interested in this, I'll leave a link below here where you can check it out on their website, and if you use my code at checkout, RG5, capital R, capital G, 5, you'll get 5% off your purchase, okay? Now over here I have my spinach growing, lots of lovely spinach, and I expect I probably won't have this much longer. It's really starting to heat up now. My arugula is already bolting, as you can see back here. It bolted on me quicker this year than it has in previous years, not sure why. Then I have, of course, some crisp lettuce, cilantro. I'm not real sure what I'm going to put up here on the top tier. I think I'll do scallions. I might actually put this little tiny tomato plant in there, and it is a determinate, so it will produce all of its tomatoes at once, and they're all supposed to be very tiny. I think it's called Red Velvet, and I got that from Garden too. They will send you your plants. So I ordered this little tomato plant along with a couple of chives and some thyme, and so that's really neat that they will include that in your order if you want to have some plants that are already started. Okay, now over here I have all my lettuce. Look how beautiful it is. Loads and loads of lettuce. I've been eating so many salads. And then of course my scallions, looking really nice with all the rain that we've had. Now I've planted out a lot of my summer vegetables, so I have loads of tomatoes in here. Cherokee Purple. I've grown the big tomatoes in the original planters time and time again. I did that last year. You can go back and look at some of my footage. But I'm going to also try out the self-watering tomato planter just so I have extra tomatoes. Who doesn't love fresh picked tomatoes, right? So now you'll see some beans here. So this is my experiment this year. I always have an experiment, and these are pole beans. So I'm just going to see how I can wrap them around the plant support. Okay, I'm going to put 2 more on here, and I'm just going to see what happens. See if I can grow some greasy beans up here. Alright, so here's where I planted all of the basil a little while back, and everything has sprouted. And so I'm looking forward to having a whole green stock full of different types of basil this year. That should be very interesting. This is the purple ruffle, if you can see that there. I'm trying to show you in the sunlight so you can see that they've come up. Okay, it's a super easy way to grow basil instead of starting it indoors. And then nasturtiums right up there. I'll thin those out to 1 per container, and the other ones I'll just move them all through the green stalks. I want to try to grow those at the lower tiers though, because they do tend to shade the lower tiers if I plant them high. And all of these are bush beans. I've just planted these, so they're not up yet. I snuck a nasturtium over here. Remember how I just told you that's what I'm doing with those. Okay, and then over here, let's see, we have more tomatoes. I put 2 sweet potato plants at the bottom. They don't like a lot of water, so that tier down there, if we get a lot of rain, it won't get as much as the upper tiers. So sweet potatoes, when they get too much water, they tend to get very slender, and I like them a little bit of fat on them. Okay, and I have a lot of dwarf tomatoes I'm growing this year. Polish dwarf, and then I have Brandywine dwarf. The dwarf tomatoes just did so well in the original green stock last year. Very happy about that. And I put some apple mint up here so that I can move it somewhere else in my garden. It's just taking over the bottom garden, but I love mint, so I don't really mind. Now here are my sad onions. They are just terrible, and I've been trying to protect them from the onion aphid, but as you can see, I have an infestation of aphids. So I'll just pull all these out, and hopefully they won't get my chives. So anyway, there you have it. That's what I have growing. Now let me tell you a little bit more about the little tomato planter that I have. So basically this is really easy to put together, and I've assembled the trellis and it just snaps right in. There is a gauge that you put on here which will show you how much water is in the bottom of the container. And so that's great. Now there's also some tubing down here at the bottom, so if there's too much water, you just take that plug out and you can drain the water. Now the plug serves a purpose because if you have a really nice tomato plant that you're growing, you can move it indoors in the winter. Okay, so I'm going to plug it back up, move my plants inside for the winter. So what I'm doing this year for the first time is I'm growing dahlias. And so, and this other one, I ordered a really pretty tuber from Swan Island Dahlias. It's called Aphid, and it's a real vibrant pink. When I read the reviews on it, it's prolific, and it's supposed to get 5 feet high. So I thought that'll be great in a planter. So that's what I have in there, and I've just planted that a few days ago. So I'm real excited about growing that for the first time. I also read that dahlias need about 3 times a week a 60-minute soaking from a soaker hose so that they will produce great. Okay, so we'll see. I thought since this is self-watering, then I can absolutely do that. So you just put your water in where the little cap is here. You just move that up and you can add as much water as you want. So when you first get your tomato plant, unless it's real big like mine, you just want to water it by hand for about the first week until it starts to root down and get some new growth on its roots. And then you can start to water it with the reservoir. Okay, so it's on wheels. You have to put your wheels on there, and so you can roll it around. It's not as forgiving as the green stock wheels. I love the green stock wheels, but these are fine. You might not even need to move yours around. So I'm really looking forward to using these, and I will give you guys regular updates on it. So I'm growing the Cherokee Purple Tomato and the Aphid Dahlia. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching, and y'all have a beautiful day.